Welcome back, preschool. Are you ready to talk a little bit more about our letter of the week? And do you remember what it is? You're right. It's the letter A. And we have a, a, apples right here. And we have talked about places like Asia and Africa and Antarctica and Australia. Yesterday we talked about armadillos, and today we have another A word called an alligator. There it is, our beautiful letter A right there. Alligator. And this happens to be called Zack's alligator. And it says Shirley Moselle. Who is Shirley Moselle? You're right. The author. Good job. And we know that author writes the story. Author writes the story. Author writes the story. That's why she came first. Now I am going to start opening this page, and here I am. I'm at the title page. Good job. Way to go. And we see Shirley Moselle, the author, but then it says James Watts. Who do you think James Watts might be? You're right again. Boy, you're smart. He is the illustrator. And we know that illustrators illustrate, illustrators illustrate, illustrators illustrate, which means he made the pictures for Zack's alligator. Are you ready to find out about Zack's alligator? A big box came in the mail for Zack. I wonder what could be in that box. It was from Zack's Uncle Jim in Florida. Zack shook the box. What could be in it, he wondered. He untied the bow and ripped off the paper. There was another box inside, and Zack lifted the lid. Now Zack has an uncle that lives in Florida. Do any of you have an uncle or an aunt that live in Florida? Inside was an alligator keychain with a note from Uncle Jim. It said, shall we read the letter together? Dear Zack, here is a present for you. Have fun. Love, your Uncle Jim. P.S. Water, Bridget. Zack held up the keychain. Well, this must be Bridget, he said. So Zack put Bridget in the sink and turned on the faucet. Bridget began to move. Her head turned. Her tail curled. Bridget grew bigger and bigger, and soon she filled the sink. Oh my goodness, look at her grow. Oh my word. Zack moved Bridget to the tub and turned on the shower. Bridget stretched inside. That feels so good, she said. And Zack watched. Bridget grew larger and larger, and she grew out of the tub and over the side. Oh my goodness, she is getting so big. Bridget moaned and groaned and whipped her tail. She splashed water everywhere. Hey, what's going on in there? Called Zack's mother. I am watering the alligator, said Zack. Alligator? What alligator? The one Uncle Jim sent, Zack said. He heard his mother laughed. I see, she said. Well, clean up when you're done. I will, said Zack. Oh my goodness. Did you hide an alligator in your bathroom? I don't know. I think my mom would be a little upset with me. Now Bridget crawled out of the tub and onto the floor. I'm hungry, she said. Do you have any fish? I don't know, said Zack. Let's go see. Bridget followed Zack down the stairs and into the kitchen. Zack opened the refrigerator door. No fish? Said Bridget. No, said Zack, no fish. But here is some meatloaf. I can mix you a meatloaf special. What is that? Asked Bridget. A surprise, said Zack. Oh, I love surprises, said Bridget. Bridget went into the living room and stretched out on the sofa. The sofa shook. Bridget looked at the TV. Huh, what a funny looking box, she said. And then she hollered to Zack, Hey, hurry up with the food. I'm coming, said Zack. Have you ever had to make lunch for an alligator? I haven't either. But he was making his meat loaf special. Meatloaf, peanut butter, mustard, banana, and a couple of pickles. Zack, what are you doing? Asked his mother. I'm fixing some meatloaf for Bridget. Uh, who's Bridget? The alligator, said Zack. Oh, of course, said Mother. We'll save some for dinner. I will, said Zack. Oh my goodness, look at that meatloaf special. I don't know. Bananas and pickles. But you know, it doesn't matter what I think about it because Bridget ate every bite of Zack's meatloaf special. Delicious, she said. I have never eaten anything like that before. Back home in the glades, I eat mostly fish, snakes, and slugs. She does look like she's enjoying his meatloaf special, doesn't she? Suddenly, Bridget jumped up from the sofa. Time for a walk, she said. Bridget wobbled to the door. Zack followed. Bridget's long tail knocked over a chair, and some books fell off the table. I don't think she knows how long her tail is. My goodness. Zack picked up the chair and the books. We're going out, Mom, he called. We? She asked. Oh, yes, you and Bridget. I forgot. Well, don't be too long. Dad will be home soon. I think Bridget definitely needs someone to go with her outside to keep her safe. Because outside, Bridget was wrestling with the garden hose. I will get you, she growled, and she gave the hose a big bite. And water squirted everywhere. What do you think she thinks or believes that the hose is? Do you think she knows what a hose is? I don't think so either. Zack ran to turn off the water. That snake will not bother anyone ever again, said Bridget. She thought it was a snake. Zack sighed and shook his head, and Bridget took off down the sidewalk, and Zack followed. Off they go on their walk. Have you ever taken an alligator down the sidewalk for a walk? Me either. Just then the mailman pulled up in his truck. What is that? Cried Bridget. Before Zack could answer, Bridget attacked. She bit the tire off the truck, and the air hissed out. Oh no, she thought it was something bad. Huh! Dogs are bad enough, shouted the mailman, but I cannot handle this. No, sir, not alligators. And the mailman jumped into his truck and drove away with a flat tire. Clump, clump, clump. Bridget shook her head. I'm glad we don't have those in the glades, she said. Zack tried to say something, but Bridget was off again. Where is she going now? Oh, hurry up, Zack. They came to a park, and Bridget wanted to swing. After that, she climbed the monkey bars. Then she jumped on the seesaw. Zack had never seen anyone seesaw by herself. She can run back up and down the seesaw And her tail is so heavy she can make it go this way, then this way, and this way, and then this way, all by herself. Next, Bridget ran to the merry-go-round, and round and round and round she went. Bridget began to sing, "Oh, I am a gator from the glades, and I can do anything, and I mean anything." Bridget got so dizzy, whoa, that she fell off the merry-go-round. Zack helped Bridget up, and just then his best friend Turk rode up on his bicycle. "Hey, Zack," said Turk. Uh, where did you get that alligator?" "Oh, from my Uncle Jim," said Zack. "Some uncle," Turk said, and suddenly Bridget shouted, "What's that fuzzy wuzzy?" What do you think Bridget sees? What do you think is going to be the fuzzy wuzzy? What is she looking at? Let's turn the page and find out. The woman took one look at Bridget and picked up her dog. The dog was the fuzzy wuzzy. "Come on, Poopsie," she said. "Let Mama take you home." Bridget did a cartwheel. "Who would want that fuzzy wuzzy anyway?" she said. "I'm thirsty, not hungry." Oh my goodness. Bridget did a quick 1-2 and hop skip to the fountain. She drank big gulps of water. Zack and Turk watched. "Will you bring Bridget to school?" asked Turk. I don't know," said Zack. A policeman came over. "Excuse me, you need a leash for that alligator," he said. "There is a law, you know." "Oh, yes, sir." I don't think they knew that there was a leash law for an alligator. I don't think they've ever taken an alligator for a walk before. I know I haven't. The policeman frowned. "Well, keep him under control." "Ah, what? Him?" cried Bridget. "Well, I'll beg his pardon. How rude. Hasn't he ever seen a girl gator before?" "You should bring her to school," said Turk. Maybe," said Zack. "I don't know. It might be hard to keep her in control at school. Could you imagine her chomping around our classroom?" Zack and Turk rode Bridget around the park, and suddenly Bridget started to shrink. "I need more water," she said. Zack and Turk helped her to the fountain. Does she need water just on the inside, or do you think she needs it on the outside again? Bridget slurped the cool water. "This place is too dry," she said. "In the glades there is plenty of water, and moss and tall grass." What are the glades?" asked Turk. "The Everglades," said Zack. "They are in Florida. That's where my Uncle Jim lives." There she is. She's definitely getting smaller and smaller. "Do you think he could send me an alligator?" asked Turk. I don't know," said Zack. "I will ask him." "That would be great," said Turk. "We have to go now," said Zack. "Don't forget to bring Bridget to school," yelled Turk. "Oh, please," Bridget said to Zack. "I want to see what school is like." "We'll see," said Zack. Well, she's definitely getting a lot smaller. And off they go. Mom said, "Don't be gone too long, 'cause Dad was coming home." On the way home, Bridget was shrinking more and more, and she looked up at Zack with big, shiny alligator eyes. "Will you water me again?" she asked. "I will water you every day," said Zack. "Good," said Bridget. Bridget was getting smaller and smaller. She bobbed her head up and down and began singing, "I am a gator from the glades, and I like to have fun every day. Oh, yeah." I think she definitely does. When they got home, Bridget was keychain size. Zack put her safely in his pocket. "Hello," said Zack's father. "Your mother said you were out with the alligator. May I see it?" "Yes, sir," said Zack. Zack pulled out the keychain with the small alligator hanging from it. "That's very nice," said his father. "Now go wash up for dinner." Oh, his father just doesn't know, does he? "Oh, Dad, My goodness, let me show you what would happen if I watered this alligator. Zack went upstairs to his room. He could hear his mother tell his father they would have chicken for dinner instead of meatloaf. Are you all right? Whispered Zack. Never better, Bridget said. She yawned. Oh, don't forget to water me tomorrow. Oh, I won't. Look at how little she is again. And do you remember why? Why are they having chicken instead of meatloaf for supper? Do you remember why? That's right. Zack fed all the meatloaf to Bridget. Zack put Bridget back in his pocket. Zack, called Mother, dinner's ready. I'm coming, Zack called back. Zack felt Bridget move in his pocket, and he patted his pocket and smiled. Until tomorrow. Until tomorrow, little Bridget. Oh, that was an exciting alligator story, wasn't it? Do you remember? What does alligator start with? That's right, the letter A. And today's the day you need to make your own letter A. There it is. And you remember, where do we always start our letters? That's right. From the top, from the top, from the top, 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 from the top, from the top, from the top, 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 from the top, from the top, from the top, 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 we start our letters from the top. And here it is. Now, if you remember, we used 2 long lines and 1 short line to make the bridge. So we start at the top making 2 diagonals. Remember, 1 and 2, and then add the bridge. There is your letter A. So now it's going to be your turn to practice making the letter A. You see right here, shows you number 1 diagonal. Back up here, touch at the top, 2 diagonal, and then 3, make the bridge across. And there is our 1 wood piece. Add the second and the bridge across. And then you can practice on the chalkboard here, making the A. And then there are, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 letter A's to trace. Then, if you can, see if you can practice, instead of coloring your alligator in, do you think you would have enough room to make some small uppercase A's all over your alligator? And don't forget, your name needs to go somewhere. In the back of this sheet, somewhere on here, needs to be your name. Keep practicing your name. That's super important, as well as these beautiful letter A's. And once you've traced them, see if you can write some more letter A's inside the alligator. I think you can. In fact, I know you can, because you're just that great. Now, before we go, I was curious, how many alligators do you see? That's right, there's only 1 alligator. If you remember, earlier this week, we wanted to practice making our straight lines before we put them at the diagonal to make this A today. And that made the number what? 1. Now, I don't want you to forget that you also know how to make curves. Curves, diagonals, straight lines. You guys are doing a super great job working on all of them. So I don't want you to forget about your curves. So today we had 1 earlier this week. You have 1 alligator. But now I want you to practice. What do you see here? How many chicks? 2. 1, 2. So I want you to also practice making your number 2. Since your fingers are going to be all nice and ready to go, you've been practicing the straight lines, I also want you to practice the big curve. And then of course you have your little line here. Those you don't have any problem with. Just don't forget to start. Oh, you're right. You almost caught me. Where do we start our numbers? That's right. From the top, from the top, from the top, 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 from the top, from the top, from the top, 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 from the top, from the top, from the top, 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 we start our numbers from the top. And we do with one big curve and then a little line back. One big curve and a little line back. So you had one earlier, and now you're going to have two. Good job. I know you can do it. You can do your number A, your letter A, sorry guys, your letter A and your number 2 today. And that'll be a lot of tracing and practicing. And this time you can color in those chicks, whatever color you like. Very nice little chicks. Don't forget, put your name on this sheet somewhere, the front, the back, and then go ahead and practice number 2s, and then see if you can make some sets. Do you think you could do that with me? I want you to make a set of 1 and a set of 2. So like I'm going to make a set of 1 stick. There. That's my set of 1 stick. In my set of 1 stick, how many are there going to be? That's right, 1. But then I want you to make some sets of 2. So if I'm going to make a set of 2, how many sticks am I going to need? That's right, 2. So I have a set of 2 sticks and a set with only 1 stick. So see if you can go around, whether say you do a set of a spoon, and then the other set has 2 spoons, and the other set has 2 spoons, and another set of 2 spoons. See how many sets you can make. Now the set means it's like a pair, 2, like your socks. If you're going to do some sorting today, see how many sets of socks you have. That means 2, or have them be 1. Because sometimes a set can be just 1 because that's all there was in there. So sets of 1, sets of 2. See if you can make as many sets as you can. See what you can find. Take your books and lay them out in sets of 2. 2 books here, 2 books over here, 2 books over here, 2 books over here. Or lay them all out separately, 1 set, 1 set, 1 set, 1 set. And then maybe try even doing them in a pattern. 1 set, 2 set, 1 set, 2 set. See how many sets you can make that have 1 or 2 today. Okay? Sounds good. That's a lot of work. You have your Jesus feet to do and all the coloring that you need to do on your blue paper or your blue plate. Then you have to practice making the letter A and the number 2. So you definitely need to get those fingers ready to go. You have a lot of work to do, but I know you can because you're just that great. Awesome. Ready? 1 little, 2 little, 3 little bubbles, 4 little, 5 little, 6 little bubbles, 7 little, 8 little, 9 little bubbles, 10 little bubbles go pop, pop, pop. Pop 'em at me. Pop, pop, pop. Pop 'em at you. Pop, pop, pop. Pop 'em to the ceiling. Pop, pop, pop. Pop 'em to the floor. Pop, 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 pop. Pop 'em back and forth. Pop, 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 pop. And play a little air piano. Play it upside down. Beautiful job. And when we come back, we're going to have one more alligator story. And I'm going to need your help to do some rhyming. Oh, I can't wait till you come back. So go ahead and get some work done today, and I'll see you back soon, okay? How about some more? Ready? Okay. See you back in a little bit. Bye, preschool.